Welcome back to another episode of House of Lee NYC. Today, you'll learn tips on doing the walking pilgrimage, the Camino del Santiago, as well as tips for doing your own 100-kilometer, that's about 60 miles, pilgrimage where you live, your very own. And you could invite others if you wanted to join you too. I'm so excited because this is the first live and video recording of this podcast. And if you're listening via the audio listening app of your choice, there is a video on the YouTube channel at House of Lee NYC. And today, to commemorate this awesomeness, stepping forward boldly where I haven't gone before,
love it,
is Dana Cooperman is here with me today. And the reason she is here is because we are going to be talking about how to do a pilgrimage, whether it is the official Camino del Santiago, which she did in Spain, or my DIY version of 100. I did 100 kilometers in Central Park within a few days. And Dana, how many did you do?
I did around that as well. It was either 100 kilometers or 100 miles, but really, who's counting?
I am. She went farther than I did, and that's okay. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to share our tips for doing the Camino. Is that the nickname for it?
Yep, sure is.
And I did what I call the Camino del Central Parco. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But first, please do share the show with at least a couple other people you think would enjoy hanging out with us today. We are live. Normally, I record sometimes in Central Park, but we are at Riverside. We're on the outskirts of Riverside Park on Riverside Drive on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. And I would like you to know before we jump in that Dana is a mom and nonprofit leader who enjoys trying some things new and facing a fear that's scary, and she's a passionate traveler, so she has lots to tell us. Have I left anything out?
You got it.
Thank you. And at the end of the show, stick around and you'll be able to find out where you can reach her. So let's just jump right in. What is it? Camino del Santiago. I'm so excited. What is it?
So the Camino de Santiago is basically a pilgrimage. It's ancient. There are many, many pathways that you can take. You can come from France, the south of Spain, or Portugal, or even England, or other parts of Europe. And it ends at a historic church in the northern part of Spain, which is called Santiago de Compostela. So that's how the walk gets its name.
Now, the walk, it has varying distances, but there's one distance in particular where you have to do it to then get a certificate?
That's true. So if you walk the last 100 kilometers leading into Santiago de Compostela and you get 2 stamps on your pilgrim passport each day, then you can qualify as an official pilgrim.
Ooh, and one day we're going to see her certificate. I forgot to ask her to bring it. But we brought other props today. Okay, so jumping in, what are your tips? Oh, and a quick question. The pilgrimage, at least the stretch that you did, was pavement, dirt. In my head, pilgrimage, it's like bare bones. How was it?
So it varied. I did a different stretch of the Camino, which is from Pamplona to Burgos. And it was a combination, I would say, of pathways through fields, over mountains, down rocky, like tumbling areas. And there were a couple of places also where we had to cross highways.
So was it mostly not paved?
Yes, mostly not paved.
Oh, okay. So I took the easy way out and did it in Central Park, which is paved and not too hilly. Although I did trek up Harlem Hill a few times just to say I did it. Okay, so what are your tips? What can we share that you would like to impart upon people? But first, interjecting here from the studio, While recording this video podcast, this inaugural episode, bear with me here, that will also be on YouTube, I realized during our conversation that I didn't actually provide an actual outline or how to for conducting your own 100 kilometer, 60-mile, or whatever distance you'd like program pilgrimage in your area, and that we only gave tips about doing it or what to bring. So here's what to do. 1. Come up with your desired time frame within the year, and then come up with the number of days you would like to do your pilgrimage, whether it's 100 kilometers, the 60 miles, or longer, or even shorter. And then you'll also want to come up with a location that's safe. In my instance, I chose Central Park during the daylight hours and some evening hours. Next, you're going to want to take the total distance you'd like to cover and divide that among the days that you have set aside. And keep in mind that some days you will do more and some days you will do fewer miles. Also, be sure to tell your close ones what you're doing for safety, but also for support. I invited people to join me, and a couple people did. They said, "Oh, I can meet you at 6 p.m. here," and I would let them know which location around about where I would be. And then we did. We caught up with each other. That was fun. Nothing in the rule book says that you have to do it by yourself in solitary. You can pick out a playlist, you can make a playlist, you can listen to podcasts. That's what I did. And sometimes I just walked in silence, marveling at the nature. It's whatever and however you want to do it. If you would like my info sheet on what I did, basically how I broke it down and everything, you can click on the link in the description and in the show notes below, depending on if you're watching on YouTube or listening on your favorite podcast listening app. And a big shout out goes to Siwolop and her 2 daughters, Lara and Lena, who are experts in hacking New York City life. Hello, ladies. All right, let's continue on. Let's go back to Central Park with Dana.
Yeah, I think one of my biggest tips, and really the first tip, would be I read everything I could find on it. I got tips from everybody, and frankly, it was overwhelming. So my biggest tip would be just do it. Start with one step. There's a phrase that is the Camino provides, which is that while you're on the Camino, you will sort through whatever it is. And my first advice is just start.
Absolutely. And you mentioned in the green room that when you did it, you had all these little things happen, but it provided. You lost your phone seemingly, and lodging and all this other stuff, and it just was, it appeared when you needed it, yes?
It did. It was incredible. It is true that I lost my phone. I lost my way. I was caught in a torrential downpour all that same day, and it all worked out. I even made friends, and it really was, I think, a big culmination of the trip for me, which is that the Camino provides, and I have what I need to tackle things that feel tough.
Checking the levels here. Okay, so what is something that you're glad you brought and something that you wish you had taken with you, if anything?
Interesting.
Because it's easy to say, I just do it. But can I just get up and do it in my Birks and my sandals and some flip-flops and just go?
Yeah. Okay. So I would suggest getting a good pair of shoes that you feel comfortable in. For me, it was actually a pair of Hokas. I did not need hiking boots. It did not really merit that. So I would absolutely recommend a pair of shoes that you feel good in. Bring something that you can change into at night. I had sandals. That was super helpful. For me, I would say bring a backpack that can serve as a day pack. There are pilgrims who choose to have their luggage transported. I was one of them. but I had a small day pack. And so for me, that worked out great.
So you can arrange a situation, you can jump into a situation where those logistics are arranged and taken care of for you.
Yes, and that really is my second tip, which is my personal point of view is do the Camino that's right for you. Go in and really follow your idea of what you want. So if that means carrying your own luggage, all 18 pounds or 10 pounds or whatever it is, go for it. If you want to get luggage transfer, do that as well. A quick thing that happened to me was the very day before I started my Camino, I was convinced to take a different path. I changed my train ticket. I was ready to take a different pathway, which actually was it would have been the last 100 kilometers. I got to the train station, and like 20 minutes before my train was about to depart, I checked in with myself and said, that was not my Camino, that was somebody else's. And I kind of reversed out and again, just did the trip that I wanted to do.
Was this sort of like that Eat, Pray, Love book thing? I've never read it. I have no interest.
It's a great book.
But was it like that for people who have seen and watched it or read it? Is it like that?
I think in a lot of ways it was, because it definitely had a spiritual component to it. For me, the reason that I chose Spain was I had lived and studied there much earlier in my life for quite a number of years. And I wanted, while I had this sabbatical from work, I wanted to kind of reclaim my relationship with the city that I had spent so much time in and with a culture that I had spent a lot of time in. So for me, it was very eat, love, pray, love, eat.
I'm just eat, maybe walk.
Sorry, Liz Gilbert. To really just have a lot of different areas of fulfillment.
Nice. I had a thought and it slipped my mind, but is it coming back? Okay, so I have a list here and I'm going to share with you why I did it. So this was about a year ago you did this, yes? Same month last year?
It's same time of the year.
Okay. We were talking, we did a little road trip together, and she was talking about the Camino, and the one thing that she said to me was, I think it reset my health.
Mm-hmm.
And her journey with self-care and health and body stuff, and I was like, I want to reset my body. I mean, how many of us are thinking, yeah, we should do a reset of some sort, and maybe it's a drastic one that needs to happen. That's what called me to it. And then one day I was just like, but I could do this, right? I could just walk. And now keep in mind, years ago I've done marathons and triathlons, so the idea of a long distance, but over days, seemed doable. But here's the thing, I did not do research before I started. On day 3 is when I did my research. I was walking. So in my head, I had heard Dana say 100, and I thought it was 100 miles, and she very well probably did more than that. But on day 3, I was like, I do not want to do 100 miles in 6 days. No. And then as I'm doing day 3 walking, I was like, you know what? Let me look this up. And in the podcast interviews that I was listening to, they mentioned 100 kilometers. And I was like, I can do 100 kilometers in 6 days or even 7 days, whatever. You can do it. So on my first day, I did about, exactly 11.2 miles.
Sweet.
Thank you. And then, kilometers, it's more. It's times 1.6, so it adds up anyway. But you took a day off because of blister management?
I did.
Tell us about that, just briefly.
Yeah, so I think it was maybe day 2 I started to feel a hot spot, but I didn't know what a hot spot was in my shoe, and basically that's just a way of saying look out, take your shoes off. And so the next day I woke up and I decided I'm just going to take the bus. I don't want my feet to get worse. And the tip that I have, which I haven't read anywhere, so this is a Dana special. For me, what worked for my blister care was I got those little, I think they're called corn cushions. They're like a Dr. Scholl's type thing. And I was able to kind of protect my blister without bursting it and creating a lot of mess on my feet. So blisters are definitely a way of the way.
Well, I was bending down to get some props here. So let's just jump right into it. My go-to are these.
Same.
And then that way, if you're squeamish, you don't have to pop it if you don't want to. But use this and then cover it with a Band-Aid or some medical tape. But I will tell you, oh, it's not in here. Boo. Number one tip is Leukotape. I'll put it in the comments below, and it's amazing stuff. So let's just talk about blisterage for a moment. You don't need to get blisters. You've got to test out your shoes to find out where that hot spot is. But a good pair of shoes, they should feel amazing when you put them on, and you should be able to feel like you're going to walk or run forever. For me, those are Hoka's. I also have inserts in my shoes because I hate dealing with plantar fasciitis. But because I'm so sensitive to the whole foot thing, sometimes I have wrapped my feet, the bottoms and the toes, in Leukotape, and then there's no blister ever, like if you're doing a marathon. I did not get any blisters because on day 2, whatever, someday I did 7 miles in my Birkenstocks. I gave my feet a rest. So like you said, bring another pair of shoes to change it up a little bit. But I'm glad we're on the same what is it?
Wavelength.
Yes. Okay. The other thing, since we're talking about blisters, and the other thing is, as soon as you notice discomfort in your shoes, whether you're doing a pilgrimage, a walkathon, a marathon, or whatever, stop and address it right then. Do not wait, because waiting can cause even more discomfort.
Truth.
Would you agree?
Yes.
And we've all been there. I've been there. Then my secret tip, because I've done long distances before, the one thing that's my least special is a muscle roller. Okay, this is amazing, and if you roll, and it's light, it does the same thing as one of those big round foam rollers, the big thick ones, but this is easy to carry, and I bet they make them in different sizes. This is great for your feet, your heels, and your muscles. I roll it up and down my calves, my quads, my hamstrings, and then that makes it easy to walk. Now you're thinking, I don't want to carry all that. But for me, I was like, I'm into creature comforts and being able to comfortably do something. And most people don't think of doing this, but this was key for me. I rolled maybe a couple of times during my 13-mile trek. And then the other thing too is, if you can swing it, no matter what pilgrimage you're doing, ice baths and the muscle rolling and ice baths, because the cold will it's amazing recovery. So what that means, what that looks like, is in a regular bathtub, it's filling the water with cold water up until maybe your belly button, and then dumping in at least 2 bags of ice, and then sitting and watching an episode of something. But the key to doing an ice bath at home is you want to put a fleece or something on your torso to keep warm, and then it's not so painful. Have you ever done that?
I haven't. I am ice bath curious, though. So maybe my challenge will be, I'll follow your lead and get into ice bathing.
Absolutely. Okay, so then the other thing nobody talks about is butt cream. I think it's called butt chamois. When I was a bike coach, we used to use it for riding. But if you're going to do a pilgrimage when it's hot, and we've got beverages in the green floor down there. I almost knocked over my soda. So if you are going to do this in warmer or more humid weather, it's gonna get chafe-like there. You're gonna get hot and bothered. Possibly. And so if that happens, stop, refresh the area, and then continue, because you don't want that area to get worse. I would rather take a blister over that. What about you?
I did not have that challenge.
But which would you rather have?
Oh, a blister.
Yeah, right. Right? The other thing I wore were smart wool socks. I did not wear 100% cotton. What did you wear?
Same.
Okay, good. And I don't like thick socks, so I got the thin ones. Now, the next thing is I was in the middle of a water fast, a fasting situation. So the first 2 days I did it, I had water and electrolytes, meaning sodium, magnesium, and potassium. And I would replenish those every hour, hour and a half. And listen, consult your medical professional first before you try something like that. I was perfectly comfortable with doing that. I felt fine. And as long as you have enough water and electrolytes, you can do most things without food in your system. But it's up to you to take responsibility for your own actions at all times. I'm not responsible for that, but I will say it's possible to do. All right. And why was I doing it? Because I had eaten so much gunk the few days before, and I wanted to reset. Okay. So moving on, you also want to consider a mileage tracker app, because why not? Did you do that?
I didn't. I used my phone. That's why I think I'm unclear on my exact mileage.
Yeah, but you probably did a bunch. Then tell us about the symbol on your backpack, which we don't have here, but I have my backpack. It's down on the ground. I'll dig it up. But tell us what the symbol is that each pilgrim.
Yeah, there's a beautiful symbol which basically is a seashell, and every little while as you're walking to find your way, there are shells, and they could be on the wall, they could be built into the ground. They're beautiful. And really what it means is sort of like you think about a shell and its grooves, people coming from all different places, but converging at that church at the end. It's really beautiful.
Wow. And so I made my own. I put a seashell. So that red symbol is the symbol that's a lot larger on a seashell that you would get for this pilgrimage. And I put a tree on it for Central Park. So I wore that because this is the backpack I wore. And then there's little Bazoo there down below. And I was thinking, well, I needed that on day 3. I needed some oomph because I was about to quit, like I said. And then I thought, sticker! I could make a sticker, and I could put it on, and maybe somebody, if they noticed, they would say, "Hey," or "Whoa," something, right? And has anybody stopped you with your patch?
Nobody has.
And her patch. There's a patch that you can buy that's blue and yellow.
It's beautiful.
It is. It's quite beautiful. Yeah. So I'll try to put a photo in there later. So again, if you're listening on the, listening app, then head over to YouTube to check that out. Now let's just check notes because we're strumming along here. I had that backpack which you saw. I put in a power bank and the right cables. Because that can happen. Wrong cables. I also had Bluetooth headphones, but mind you, mine was not a spiritual, I've got to be one with nature pilgrimage. Mine was, let's get it done and let's feel better and let's health-wise. So I would say 50% of the time I was listening to something. And then what you may find, like when I did my motorcycle trip to Alaska, it was amazing. I didn't use music, nothing. It was one with nature, and that felt good too. How about you?
I did not use any music. It just felt, it was like a bubble. It was a totally different kind of mind space. And I really enjoyed it with just no music, no distractions.
Yeah. So decide from the start what kind of pilgrimage you want to do. Start with the end in mind a little bit. Like I knew my end in mind was, I'm going to do it. I'm going to finish. And I want to do it in 6 days. And then the rest was open.
You were powering through. For me, I just decided that I wanted to visit these 2 cities, and I had spent some special time in Burgos many years before, and so it was a great destination for me. And I was kind of time bound also. That's why I only walked for a week. But there's people who walk 30 days, 40 days to do that full Camino, which is leaving from on the other side of the Pyrenees in France. This is called the French Way. And I think it's like 850 kilometers, and it can take 30 days, as I said, 40 days. It's significant.
Wow. Yeah, I'm out. Okay. I also carried with me a selfie stick and portable light. Hello, because, that's just what we content creators do. Also, I had a little spray bottle of sanitizer and some napkins or wipes because you just never know. Did you have either of those? No. Okay.
I didn't.
Okay. And then for water, what I did was I took my water bottle and I filled it half with water and put it on a slant in the freezer so that when I woke up in the morning, I could put regular water and it at least wouldn't be as warm when needed. And then I had on, so I did this, it was November, right? Did I do this in November?
Yeah.
Yes, the beginning of November. And I had a long sleeve shirt and I had a tank top on underneath and bicycle workout shorts. So
I had layers. So I had a short sleeve, I had a long sleeve, and then I had 2 pairs of pants. What I will say is there was this woman on the Camino that I met. She was Japanese, and she was extremely sophisticated, and all she had was a day pack, and she walked the entire thing. So she had a long coat that kind of served almost as like a sleeping bag that she could use in the hostels. And she had small sample sizes of all of the toiletries she needed. And she was completely self-sufficient. And she looked incredible while she did the walk.
of course she did. There's always one. But you mentioned a
Life
good
goals.
point, right? Hostels can be amazing. I'm a lifetime member of Hostelling International. I stayed in a hostel in Chicago recently because I just wanted to get away and do it on the low, and it was fine. So have you?
It's great. It's such a great way to meet people.
Absolutely. If they talk. Here's what I noticed. In America, the Americans don't really talk.
Oh.
Yeah, have you ever been to a hostel in America?
I have not.
Okay, see, that's if you're going to try a hostel, do it outside the U.S. first so you get like the flavor. And Canada counts because people in Canada are nice and they chat too. There's a hostel, by the way, near Niagara Falls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so stay on the Canada side. It's nicer. All right, a hat, sun hat. I had lip balm and I had lipstick. I'm not going to lie. I did lipstick. Did you do any skincare?
No, not intensive. I mean, just really sunblock.
Yes, sunblock, definitely. And if you have done a pilgrimage and your own, or you've done the Camino, please let us know in the comments. Email it, lee@houseofleenyc.com. Let us know. More the merrier. And I'm sure a Don't You Hate It When is going to come up from this. So stay tuned for those in the shorts. As we wrap up, Dana, what's your favorite hotspot here in New York City?
Oh, one thing I absolutely love is Columbia women's basketball.
Okay.
It's not far from my house. It is great basketball, and everybody watches women's sports.
Yes. Columbia University, right? And what I like about college sports is the tickets are really affordable. Affordable for the whole family.
Super fun.
Like you can get season tickets for nothing, right? I keep saying right, and I told you that one of my goals was to stop saying right.
Right.
And that's going to wrap it up for our first live. It's live, but it's not going to be uploaded live. Like this is not a YouTube live, but it was recorded live. I don't think I'm going to do much editing. And tell me in the comments what you think of this new format. I cannot guarantee I'm going to keep doing it, but I'm putting it out there, trying it, seeing what works. And if you watch the shorts and you have an opinion on that, or you have a Don't You Hate It When that you would like me to help you with, please do let me know. If you need someone to MC your next event, think of me. And where can people find you if they want to connect?
LinkedIn is probably the best place.
And what's the handle? What's your feed?
Dana Cooperman on LinkedIn, and it's Cooperman, Kuperman. Erman.
Woohoo! Well, thank you so much. Take care. Oh, yeah, hit follow and subscribe and like and all that good stuff. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, another tip here. This, as you may have figured out, is a sticker. Oh, I did not intend to wear so much Bazoo, but you can follow him at World of Bazoo. But the tip here is if you're unsure about something and you want to just try out your logo on different items, make a sticker and try it first. Like, do you think I should make a hat with House of Lee NYC? I don't know. I thought it would be fun.
Super cute.
And if you have a show or something, you can buy one of these mic flags. This one's blank, and I just put stickers on it. See, because I like options. So I was like, oh. And then to remove the sticker, use a hairdryer, and it'll come right off once the gum is heated.
You are full of tips.
Life hacks.
Life hacks by Lee.
There you are. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.